Read in the Tomer Devorah, we're on the 11th attribute, kindness to Avram. From thread to shoestrap. A refugee from the war between the kings arrived to tell Avram that his nephew, Lot, had been captured in the plunder of Sodom. Without hesitating, Avram rose, gathered his followers together, and set out on a rescue mission. He realized that a difficult battle awaited him. The 4 kings who had captured Lot were well known for their might. The shadow of their fear fell on all the nations that surrounded them. The Midrash tells us that the consolation of tzedek shone upon Avram in his battle. The attribute of tzedakah represented by this consolation argued on his behalf. If Avram dies in battle, who will give tzedakah? In this merit, Avram saw great miracles performed on his behalf. The dirt he threw at his enemies turned into arrows in mid-air, disseminating their ranks. Avram was victorious. He recaptured the prisoners and spoils that had been taken from Sodom. When Avram returned, the king of Sodom went to meet him in a valley where many nations gathered to crown Avram as their leader, as Hashem's representative among them. On that occasion, Melchizedek, king of Shalem, brought bread and wine to refresh Avram and his followers, who were exhausted from their battle. Melchizedek blessed Avram upon his success, and blessed Hashem for granting him success. Blessed is Avram to the supernal God, master of the heaven and earth. In response, Avram gave a tithe the spoils to Melchizedek. He was the Kohen to the supernal God. The Torah explains, the king of Sodom then realized that Avram considered himself owner of the spoil, since he had captured them back from the 4 kings. The king of Sodom saw the treasures of his kingdom slipping through his hands. From a logical perspective, he realized that Avram had a fair claim to them. Avram had risked his life in the battle to reclaim them, and they were his by right. In his heart, however, the king of Sodom felt cheated. These were the treasures of his kingdom, after all. He then came to a compromise. Give me back the captives and keep the treasures for yourself, he said. Avram could read between the lines. Both the captives and the treasures were already his. He needed no one's permission to keep the treasures he had rightfully won in battle. Why then did the king of Sodom feel the need to tell him he could keep them? Clearly, the king still thought that they were his. Avram then raised his hand and swore that he would take nothing from the spoils of the battle. Thread to shoestrap. I will take nothing, he swore. Avram Avinu had every right to keep the spoils of battle, but he felt the pain of the king of Sodom and saw that the king felt cheated. Therefore, he acted with him beyond the dictates of fairness and justice and gave him back the spoils. Hashem saw Avram's outstanding display of consideration above and beyond the dictates of fairness. In the merit of the thread, Avram returned. His descendants received the mitzvah of techeles, string of tzitzis. In the merit of the shoe strap, they received the mitzvah of tefillin. Others explain that in the merit of the threads, his descendants were praised. Your lips are like the scarlet thread. In the merit of the shoe strap, their enemies will be repaid. I shall cast my shoe upon Edom. Thanks, and we'll continue tomorrow.